So this is the lure we're going to make today. It's a cute little guy, very simple design. He should go just a little bit of an angle like that in the water and wiggle. I put a little flashing on the front of his face there. And let's get to work. Very rough shape, needs lots of sanding. Okay, so to make this work correctly in the water, it needs some weight put in it. So I'm going to drill a hole here, about an inch in, a little bit of an angle here. It's going to come up through the back of the body, and I'm just going to fill it with a little bit of lead, and that should make this heavy enough so it goes down a little, and it should make it wiggle good. So you're going to want to go about an inch deep in there. So either use some tape on your drill, or if you have a drill press you can set it for the right depth. And then now I'll fill this up with some lead. You can get fairly soft lead in strips and get it in different diameters, and you can just stick it right down in there and cut it to size. I can bend them so that they'll fit in there. Of course you could always melt lead, but I wouldn't do that unless you absolutely 100% totally know what you're doing. It's very dangerous to do that. You can get very badly burned, and stuff's toxic. You can start a fire, all kinds of things. So don't do it unless you know what you're doing. So the drill bit I used was about 1/8 of an inch to maybe 3/16 of an inch in diameter. A little less than half a centimeter, probably around 4 millimeters. And I went about an inch deep. Now fill that puppy up and start sanding some more. So I've taken these little pieces of lead and I've rounded them out a little bit, and I stick them down in the hole, and I just stuff them down in there with a small screwdriver. And I just do that, put about 3 or 4 of these in here, and I'll put a little epoxy in there and then stick them in, and then we'll put some wood filler over this and sand it down. I think I'm going to put some of this cool reflective tape on there. Just cut out a little piece right on the very front part of the head here. Put a couple of eyes on there. See how it comes out. I've got some gold paint here. This is the Army Painter paint. You don't need to get anything too fancy. Just if you can find gold paint in a dollar store, Walmart, something like that, you can probably get it for about $1 for a bottle bigger than this. This is kind of specialized paint that I use on miniatures for war games and stuff like that. But that's what I'm going to use. It's a bright gold. I'm going to use some green skin green. I think I'm going to mix just a speck of black with it maybe to make it a little darker. And you can use regular red, but I have this effect blood here called glistening blood. It shines a little bit and it looks like it's wet. I'm going to see, I've never used it on a lure before, but we'll see what that looks like. So let's get to work. So I'm using a very, very, very small brush here. I don't know if you can see how small that tip is. Look at that. Tiny little tip. Probably can't find this at Walmart. You probably have to find something like this at an art supply store or something like that. This is the Army War Painters. They call it the Insane Detail Brush. But you can make little droplets of blood on it. You don't have to. Just put little specks of blood on there, whatever you want to do. You don't have to buy a fancy brush for it. I'm using the glistening blood. I'm going to see how this works. I don't know. I've never used this on a lure before, so we'll see what happens. So here it is, all finished. Looks kind of goofy with this tape on here, but it's reflective tape, and I think it's going to attract fish. Be a cute little lure if I didn't have that on there, probably. I really kind of painted this in a hurry. I didn't do a very good job on it. It doesn't look good, but fish don't care. So that's the end product. Thanks for watching. So when you make lures, sometimes they don't work quite the way you expected them to, and sometimes you have to make some adjustments to them, or even some modifications. This particular one wanted to float just like this, with his head up out of the water, and I couldn't get him to do anything. So I drilled a little hole here, going up in here just a little ways, and I put some lead there, and this sinks right in the water now. And this should work a lot better now. So you may have to do that. Now, depending on the type of wood, how thick you made the lure, how much weight you put in the back, what kind of angle you have that going in there, I mean, it can change a lot of things. This particular lure, I just needed some more weight in the front, so I did it. Now it works great.